Welcome to the deep dive.
Today we're going into a case that's, well, it's particularly dark.
Yeah, it really explores how a brilliant mind, someone dedicated to science, could flip that expertise towards committing murder and believing they could get away with it.
Exactly. We're looking at Dr. Mohamed Ahmed El-Ghareeb, a 58-year-old professor of endocrinology, hugely respected, Ain Shams University.
A pillar of the community, you'd think.
Absolutely. But beneath that public face, there was this hidden persona. Ruthless. Arrogant, really. And convinced he could plan the perfect crime in 2010.
And the setting he chose.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes, doesn't it? Not his professional clinics, not the university.
No. This was an abandoned clinic. Ground floor in Heliopolis. Kept dark, locked up. Locals even called it the ghost house.
The ghost house. Wow. That's quite a contrast to his normal life. 3 active clinics, teaching.
A complete compartmentalization. That derelict clinic was purely for his, let's say, illicit activities.
So our mission today is to unpack how someone like that gets to this point. How his own meticulous planning, his scientific knowledge, ultimately became the very thing that tripped him up.
Because despite his efforts, the perfect crime. Well, it really is an impossibility, isn't it? His own methods gave him away.
Let's start with his background. This wasn't just some average doctor. We're talking elite level. Right?
Oh, absolutely. Graduated medical school, specialized in endocrinology, which is notoriously tough. High honors, built a huge reputation nationally, internationally even. Became very wealthy.
There was that undercurrent. People noticed something.
Yeah, colleagues mentioned a certain arrogance, a belief in his own superiority. It seemed quite deep-seated.
And that arrogance, maybe it bled into other parts of his life.
It seems so. It's like he felt above the rules. That's what allowed him to build this whole secret life, this illegal trade network operating in the shadows.
What kind of stuff was he dealing in?
You name it. Currency manipulation, faulty medicines, expired stuff, medical devices that didn't even work properly.
Seriously. Faulty medical devices.
Yeah. The only thing that mattered was if it made money. Ethics, legality. Completely irrelevant to him. Profit was king.
He couldn't run that alone, surely.
No, he had a key accomplice, Mohamed Abdel Latif, his personal assistant, also a nurse. Latif had been with him literally since graduation.
So total loyalty there.
Seemingly, yes. Latif was his sole confidant, and crucially, he was the public face for the doctor's illegal investments, the front man.
So that explains how the assistant might have appeared wealthier than expected.
Exactly. It was part of the setup. Latif handled the risky stuff, moved the money, kept the doctor's hands clean, essentially, maintained that perfect image.
Okay, so the doctor's already got this illicit side business humming along. What brings the victim into the picture?
Well, the doctor's always looking for the next opportunity, right?
Yeah.
He notices one of the nurses on his team, a woman named Sama. She's suddenly wearing very expensive clothes, lots of gold jewelry, stands out.
Right, catches his eye.
He gets curious, asks around, and finds out she's married to a guy named Mohamed Mokhtar. He's 48, an established appliance dealer.
An appliance dealer. Okay, how does that connect?
This is where it gets interesting. Mokhtar wasn't just any dealer. His specialty was buying appliances with these tiny, almost invisible manufacturing defects.
Like scratches or dents you wouldn't easily spot.
Exactly. And then he'd resell them at full price or near full price without telling the buyers about the flaws.
So another person cutting ethical corners for profit.
Precisely. There's a kind of parallel there with the doctor, isn't there? A shared disregard for playing straight, if the money's good enough.
The doctor must have seen an opportunity immediately.
He did. He decides to invest with Mokhtar, puts in 170,000 Egyptian pounds.
How much was that, realistically, back in 2010?
It was a very significant amount, maybe 3-4 years' salary for an average professional in Egypt then. A huge chunk of change.
And the doctor knew the business was shady, selling defective goods.
Oh yeah, he was fully aware. But the potential for a quick, high return seemed to outweigh any concerns he might have had.
Okay, so the deal is done. How did it play out initially?
For the first 3 months, everything went fine. Profits were paid, seemed like a good investment.
Then?
But then Mokhtar started making excuses. Payments stopped. He kind of vanished, claimed the profits weren't materializing like he expected. Standard stuff when a deal goes south.
So the doctor tries to get his money.
He contacts the nurse, Sama, Mokhtar's wife, and she basically confirms it. Tells him her husband isn't going to pay the rest and, asks for patience.
Patience isn't really something I imagine Dr. El-Ghareeb had a lot of.
Not in this situation. But here's where it gets interesting. He doesn't just get angry or make threats initially.
What does he do?
2 days later, he files a formal lawsuit against Mokhtar.
Okay, that's quite decisive.
And calculated. Because he'd made sure to get signed receipts, basically promissory notes from Mokhtar right at the start. He was already prepared for things to go wrong.
Smart. But wait, you said he was already wealthy? Running his own illegal stuff? Why risk everything over this one debt? Why not just let the lawsuit run its course or even write it off?
That's the crucial psychological point here. The analysis suggests it stopped being purely about the £170,000.
There's something else.
It was about the disrespect, the slight. Here's Mokhtar, in the doctor's eyes, just a small-time cheat, treating him a distinguished professor, an intellectual superior like any other mark.
Ah, so it wasn't the money, it was the insult to his ego, his status.
Exactly. He couldn't stand being treated like an ordinary victim. That professional slight, that perceived challenge to his dominance, that was unbearable, more than the financial loss.
So that really reframes his motivation then. It's personal, deeply personal.
Completely. So Mokhtar gets served with the lawsuit papers. He realizes the doctor isn't messing around. He panics a bit.
Tries to make amends.
Yeah, he offers a deal. Says he'll pay 70,000 EGP in cash immediately and the remaining 100,000 in installments if the doctor drops the lawsuit.
And does the doctor agree?
He agrees to the installment plan, but, and this is key, he insists on getting the full 170,000 back, no negotiation on the total amount, regardless of Mokhtar's supposed losses.
Okay. But was he really planning to just take the money back slowly?
No! By this point, the deal was just theater, a way to keep Mokhtar engaged. The doctor had already shifted gears. He wasn't just collecting a debt anymore.
He was planning something else.
He was gathering information, learning about Mokhtar's methods, finding out this was his usual pattern scam investors, then string them along with tiny payments.
And El-Ghareeb decided he wouldn't be strung along.
He decided he was going to end the disrespect. Permanently. The plan for revenge started forming.
And he brings his assistant, Abdel Latif, fully into this plan.
Yes. Latif is essential. The doctor coordinates everything with him. Step 1. Drop the lawsuit. Make Mokhtar think the installment deal is genuine. Lower his guard completely.
Setting of the trap.
Precisely. Then Abdel Latif makes the call. Tells Mokhtar the doctor wants to meet him personally.
Why personally?
To collect the first installment, that's 70,000 EGP, and, crucially, to give Mokhtar the official receipt confirming the settlement. Make it all seem legitimate, finalize the agreement face-to-face.
And the location.
The abandoned clinic in Heliopolis. The ghost house. 7 p.m.
Okay, paint the picture for us. Mokhtar arrives.
It's 7 p.m. It's dark. He pulls up to this building, and it's clearly derelict, locked, silent. Looks completely deserted. He probably feels uneasy already.
I imagine.
He has to knock, maybe waits a bit. Then Latif, the assistant, just sort of appears out of the gloom and lets him in.
And inside?
Inside, it's even worse. He's led into what used to be an operating room. It's filled with old, broken medical gear, tables, machines, all covered in dust, probably. Cold. Unsettling.
And you mentioned something visible.
Yeah. Somewhere in the room, clearly visible, is a mechanical saw.
Just left out, like a prop.
Or a warning. It definitely adds to the horror of the scene.
Yeah.
So Mokhtar sits down, probably across the table from the professor. He takes out the cash, the first installment.
Ready to get this over with? Expecting a receipt.
Exactly. He hands over the money. The doctor takes it, then reaches into a drawer nearby. Mokhtar thinks it's for the receipt.
But it's not.
It's not. He pulls out a silenced pistol.
Oh, wow. Just like that.
Just like that. 2 shots, very quick, very deliberate. One to the head, one to the chest.
Mokhtar has no chance.
None at all. Dies instantly. And this is where the doctor's clinical mindset just takes over completely.
No panic. No remorse.
Apparently not. It wasn't a crime of passion that got out of hand. The murder was the plan. Now it becomes a problem of logistics, how to dispose of the body scientifically.
And this is where his medical knowledge becomes the murder weapon, in a sense.
In a huge way.
Yeah.
But it's also where he starts making mistakes, forensically speaking. He and Latif lift the body onto the old operating table.
Feels like a patient.
Chilling, isn't it? Then the doctor picks up that mechanical saw.
And one left out in the room.
The very one. And he begins to dismember the body into 6 specific pieces.
6 pieces. That precision. It screams medical training, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You need to know anatomy to do that cleanly, efficiently. That specific technique immediately creates a profile. This wasn't random butchery. It was skilled dismemberment. First big clue.
Okay, dismemberment is one thing. But he needed to hide the identity.
Right. And he took very specific steps, again, showing his scientific thinking. First, the hands and feet.
What about them?
He burned them Completely, utterly destroyed. The clear intention: eliminate any possibility of fingerprint identification. That shows he understands forensic procedure.
He knows what the police will look for.
Exactly. Second step, the head. This is particularly brutal. He removed the head entirely, sealed it tightly in a plastic bag, placed the bag under the wheel of his car, and ran over it repeatedly until the skull structure was completely crushed, pulverized.
Just pure rage.
The goal was calculated: destroy facial features, prevent dental record identification, make the head unrecognizable by any standard method.
Just methodical destruction.
Completely. After that, they burned the remaining body parts as well. Packaged everything, ashes, fragments, into multiple different bags.
And the victim's clothes?
Separate bag. Clothes, shoes, everything.
So multiple bags, different contents. What was the disposal plan?
Again, meticulous. The doctor himself drove out to a remote area called Al-Khalig, quite far out.
And just dumped them all together?
No, that's the thing. He drove around, dropping the different bags in several separate locations, miles apart, trying to maximize the chances they wouldn't all be found or wouldn't be connected. If they were,
spreading the evidence.
Exactly. Then, mission accomplished in his mind, he just drove home, got ready for work the next day, prepared to teach his university classes.
As if nothing happened, believing he'd committed the perfect, untraceable crime.
Convinced of it, he maintained the facade perfectly for the next few days.
Did the wife, Sama, contact him?
She did, called him, worried about her husband, and the doctor just played dumb, feigned ignorance. Even suggested Mokhtar had probably just run off to avoid paying his debts.
Cold. So Sama reports him missing.
Yes. 2 days after the murder, she files a missing person report. But for 4 days, nothing. The doctor goes about his life. Until a sanitation worker, just doing his job in Al-Khalig, stumbles upon one of the bags, then another, contains human remains.
Police are called in. What do they find?
They find the bags, the burned hands and feet, arms, other body fragments, and eventually the bag with the head. Crushed, burned, almost nothing left. Except, crucially, a tiny area near one eye socket was somewhat intact.
Still, identifying someone from that seems impossible.
Yeah.
No face, no prints.
It was an enormous challenge. This is where the killer's expertise in avoiding forensics created a unique problem for forensics, but it also spurred an incredible effort.
What did they do?
This required a really groundbreaking collaboration between the forensic medicine department and criminal investigation, specifically the technical assistance department.
Artists, scientists working together.
Essentially, yes. They took the crushed skull fragments. Using cotton, specialized tools, incredible skill, they painstakingly started to reconstruct the basic structure, focusing on that small, preserved area around the eye and nose.
Trying to rebuild a face from almost nothing.
And they succeeded. They managed to recreate enough of the structure, particularly the eye and nose configuration, to generate a likeness, a composite sketch based on the reconstructed skull.
That's incredible. So they could compare that sketch to missing persons reports.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the medical examiner's findings were just as crucial in building the profile of the killer himself.
Beyond the cause of death, the gunshots.
Way beyond. The ME confirmed the dismemberment technique was highly precise, consistent with a surgical saw. That pointed strongly towards someone with anatomical knowledge.
A doctor or surgeon.
Very likely.
Yeah.
Then there was the burning of the hands and feet, clear knowledge of forensic science trying to destroy prints.
The cover-up itself was a clue.
Absolutely. And they found something else. Faint, trace amounts of chemical disinfectants, the kind used almost exclusively in
operating rooms.
Operating rooms. Put it all together. Death by gunshot, precise surgical dismemberment, forensic awareness, traces of operating room chemicals.
The profile becomes incredibly specific.
Stunningly specific. The perpetrator wasn't just anyone. They were looking for a specialist, almost certainly a highly trained physician. Probably late 40s, early 50s, based on bone analysis.
And Dr. El-Ghareeb fit that profile perfectly.
To a T, his own careful methods designed to hide his identity ended up creating a detailed description of himself.
So how did they connect the victim to the doctor?
The reconstructed likeness matched Mohamed Mokhtar's missing person report. The police also found the separate bag with his clothes, which Sama tearfully identified.
Okay, victim identified. What next?
They asked Sama the obvious question: did your husband have any recent conflicts, any major disputes?
And she mentions the doctor.
She tells them about the $170,000 EGP debt, the argument, the lawsuit with Professor El-Ghareeb.
The police check the lawsuit.
They find it. Filed, then suddenly dropped. Matches the timeline. Then they traced Mokhtar's movements on the day he disappeared. His phone records, maybe witness accounts.
Leading directly to the Heliopolis clinic.
Directly to the ghost house. The timeline, the motive, the forensic profile pointing to a doctor, it all converged on El-Ghareeb.
But they still needed concrete proof. He was the one, not just that the victim went there.
Right. They needed to break the weakest link in the doctor's carefully constructed wall of silence.
The assistant, Abdel Latif.
Mohamed Abdel Latif, the loyal confidant, the gatekeeper to the doctor's secret life. The police realized he had to know everything.
So they bring him in.
They bring him in for questioning.
Yeah?
And under pressure. Well, that loyalty crumbled pretty quickly.
He confessed.
He broke completely, spilled everything, the entire sequence, the lure to the clinic, the doctor committing the murder, the dismemberment, the disposal. He detailed the doctor's direct role in every single step.
Wow. The whole house of cards came down.
Instantly, Dr. Mohamed El-Ghareeb was arrested.
Did he confess? Cooperate?
Not a chance. True to form, completely arrogant, denied everything, refused to participate in any crime reenactment, tried to hire fancy lawyers to pick the case apart.
But the evidence was too strong.
Overwhelming. The detailed forensic analysis proving that unique medical knowledge, the disinfectant traces, the lawsuit, Mokhtar's route to the clinic, and now the full confession from his trusted accomplice. His scientific approach to murder had created a trail that led right back to his door.
So despite his intelligence, his planning,
He was convicted. Both Dr. El-Ghareeb and Mohamed Abdel Latif were sentenced to death.
it really is a chilling irony, isn't it? A man whose life was built on scientific knowledge, on understanding the human body, uses that exact knowledge to try and commit an undetectable crime.
And that very knowledge becomes his undoing.
His methods were too specific.
Exactly. The perfect crime attempt was flawed because it was so tailored to his unique skills. The precision cuts, the anatomical awareness, the understanding of forensic avoidance. It didn't make him anonymous. It created an incredibly specific profile that basically screamed highly trained physician with surgical skills.
His own brilliance trapped him. He thought he could outsmart the science.
But forensic science uses the same principles of detailed observation and deduction that he mastered in medicine. He played the game, but the science was ultimately better.
It leaves you wondering, doesn't it? About ego. About when that line gets crossed between competence, even brilliance, and just fatal arrogance.
When does that pride, that need to feel intellectually superior, become so strong that you'd risk everything, your reputation, your freedom, your life, over a perceived slight, applying your genius to something so horrific, and in doing so, guaranteeing your own downfall? It's a stark warning about hubris.
Something definitely to think about.